Hey y'all. Well, I'm in the mood for soup. I know it's getting summertime and soup is hot, but a lot of other things we eat in the summer, having steak and baked potatoes, those are hot too. So I've never been one for being dedicated to having certain foods at certain times of the year. When I want chili, I'll fix chili. I don't care if it's in the middle of the summer or if I want some cold dessert. It doesn't make me any difference if it's wintertime. So I'm just going to make a pantry soup. I took everything out of the refrigerator and pantry that I thought would go good in a soup. And I'm just going to go from there. Take y'all along for the ride. Maybe throw a little craving on you. And as a side to my soup, I'm going to make some corn cakes or pancakes made with cornmeal or fried cornbread. You can call them by all kinds of names, but it's really just cornbread. So let me get started here. Turn my heat on. I'm going to chop up some onions here. They're kind of, on the big side because I like my onions big rather than small, or they're not like big huge chunks, but about like that. It's kind of cloudy here today. I guess it's going to rain sometime or another, and so that always makes the lighting not good in the kitchen, but you can hear me, so that's good. Now I got some celery. I'm going to chop it up. And I don't have any, broth, chicken broth or beef broth. I don't have bouillon cubes. I don't have, stock in the cartons or anything like that. But what I do have is some miso paste. And you can use that in soups. And, I don't usually buy stock or bouillon cubes because there's too much sodium in there, too much salt. And I watch my salt intake. And while miso does have, this is what I'm going to use. Let's see, what is the sodium count in here? 820 milligrams for 1 tablespoon. Now that's a lot of sodium. But, if you open up a can of beans or any vegetable, it's going to have a lot of sodium in it. So I only buy or try to buy no salt vegetables because, like I say, I try to cut the salt wherever I can and use it, like if I cook a steak, I like salt on my steak. So I'll just, if I cook a green vegetable, I'll leave the salt out of the vegetable when I'm eating my green steak. I kind of try to spread the salt love around. And another reason I like using miso is because it has bacteria in it and enzymes that I need in my tummy. I'll have to do a video about that one of these days. But right now, I'm just going to get this soup on, let it cook for, I don't know, a couple of hours, I guess, until everything gets blended and tender and all that. And I don't know, I just wanted something that, it'll be good for several days. I won't have to be cooking. I need to bank out a Kroger order and go pick it up tomorrow. I've decided that's a good way for me to do grocery shopping. That way I tend not to spend as much. Okay, I got my carrots diced up, and I did them small because they take a long time to cook. Okay, I was going to put a potato in here, but potato was bad. I had a big baking potato. I waited too long and wasted it. I had to throw it away. And I put some olive oil in the bottom of the pan to saute these vegetables to get a little flavor going from a soup. And turn that up a little. Let's see, what else do I have here? I have a can of garbanzo beans, a little protein. There's 6 grams of protein for half a cup. I'm going to add the whole 3½ servings. I'm going to add some no salt whole kernel corn, a can of no salt diced tomatoes, and a can of no salt cut green beans. I'll add a little bit of rice, maybe a couple of tablespoons. And I'm going to add a little bit of my cabbage. This cabbage has lasted a long time. So that's something else I need to consider when buying vegetables. Try to buy vegetables that last a long time in the refrigerator. Because it just being me here, I don't eat them as much. Okay, now I'm going to put in some seasoning. I want to put in a little bit of thyme. And I want to do it now while the soup is not taking up all the room, to give the little cayenne pepper, a little black pepper, okay. Anyway, when you put your seasonings in, when they're able to touch that oil, it helps to kind of bring to life those seasonings. And I want that to just be the carrots, onions, and celery to be just a little on the tender caramelized side before I add my other ingredients. And I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to add in just a small amount of cabbage. I don't want to put a whole lot in there to overwhelm the soup. You know, you could put, guess you could put, you know, like fresh spinach in there. Just a little something green, you know. Okay. That smells good enough to eat. Alright, let me add my vegetables. I drained and rinsed the garbanzo beans. I'm going to use the liquid that's in the green beans. Going to use the corn liquid and the diced tomatoes. Alright, and I'm going to add some dried parsley. And then a couple of tablespoons of rice. I really like putting pearl barley in my soups, but I don't have any, so I'm just using what I have. Okay, now I'm going to get a nice big spoon of miso. You have to keep that in the refrigerator. That'll give it a nice flavor with some added benefits that I wouldn't get from bouillon cubes or stock. Okay, I think I'll add some water to all that. Okay, put 2 cans of that. All right. Now, I'm just going to let this cook on low for at least an hour, and we'll see how it turns out. It smells pretty good. I don't know. I don't taste my food when I'm cooking, and I know you should, but I never have. Don't ask me why, but I just don't. So it's always a surprise to me when somebody says, "Oh, this tastes good." Okay. All right. Well, I'll be back in a while and we'll check on it. Okay, soup has been cooking for about an hour and a half. I think it's probably ready. I'm just going to let it continue to cook while I make my corn cakes, my cornbread. Let me wipe this off. This is the one I used to make my pancakes on. Okay. Get on there and get it to heating up. And I have mixed about a cup of self-rising cornmeal. Put in an egg and some buttermilk. And you stir that around. And just like my pancakes, I like my batter to be kind of thick. Put that over here. And you know, this will be, you know, you could put corn in here, onion, jalapenos. But I used all my onion and corn in my soup. So this is just going to be plain. And you know, soup is a very satiating thing. It's very satisfying, I guess, because it has so many different vegetables and you know, some kind of a broth and everything. So it always tastes good, and you feel like you've had something to eat. Don't feel really stuffed, but unless you're eating, you know, like chili or something, I guess you could end up eating too much of all the good stuff that goes with it. Oh, it's starting to get warm. I'm in a hurry because I'm hungry. I am hungry. Let's see, put a little spray on there. Okay, I'm just going to put a little tester on there, see how it does. Ah, it's not even hardly sizzling. Okay, I'm not going to make you sit there and wait on me. Okay, that one's going to get cooked all right, but it's just a light color. Let me put some more on here. Now that sizzle is a little louder. I could probably eat my weight in cornbread. Love corn cakes, cornbread, hush puppies. If it's got cornmeal in it, I'll eat it. And this soup ought to taste pretty good. And as long if I put it in one skillet, but sometimes I just enjoy a change. A lot of times if my mother didn't make a dessert, which was very rare, and we'd have cornbread. Daddy would put butter on the cornbread, and then we would either have honey or sorghum or molasses to pour over our cornbread, and he would tell us that that was a dessert, because we'd be disappointed that Mama didn't make one of her homemade cakes or pies, because she did that probably 5 nights out of the week. When she made pies, she cut it into 5 equal pieces, and we all got a piece. Or if we had a cake, she would cut it in half, and we would get a fifth of the cake. That was, you think, man, that's a lot of dessert. But, with everything else we were eating and, being kids, we were active, and it didn't seem like a lot. But it sure was good. And I miss all those cakes and pies that my mama made. Okay, while that last corn cake is cooking, I'm going to taste the soup. Get a broth. Yeah, that tastes pretty good. Now, if somebody coming to eat, they probably pour salt all over this. But that's okay. It's got a nice flavor. And I like my soups kind of thin. Some members of my family like it to be thick. But, since just me, I'm making it thin. Okay, y'all. I'm going to go eat my soup and cornbread. And I hope y'all have a good afternoon, a good evening, a good day, wherever you are. And please remember to be kind to someone. Bye.